znaczy, woli na ciebie tedy, jak ta obsera z Ameryki.
Endlich an den Bunker. Ich kenne solche wie dich. Ihr klammert euch mit allen Mitteln ans Leben.
Wszyscy jesteśmy jak źdźbła traw w ziemi.
What if the champion wasn't the hero, but the villain all along? This recap is about to start a war in the comments. Today, you're going to witness a powerful story. A place where thousands of starving, thirsty people are forced to work like slaves and are given filthy water full of worms. Amid this horror, a messiah rises, a man who fights every day to feed them. There's a child who's brutally beaten, a girl who gets gunned down for fighting back, and a man who gives everything, never giving up hope. This is the story of camp. What happens inside a place like this? Who is this man named Teddy? What becomes of a boxing champion? Let's dive into the film. The story begins with Teddy, a prisoner in a camp. He's reminiscing about his daughter with his eyes closed. Teddy was once a boxer. One day, while returning home from training, he's captured and sent to this camp. All prisoners are treated like animals, forced to break stones and work in mines. At night, they're given just a spoonful of dirty water to survive. That Teddy shares the camp with a 15-year-old boy named Yannick. During mealtime, a prisoner shoves Yannick and steals his food, but no one says a word, not even Teddy. One day, a prisoner tries to escape, but a German officer kills him instantly. The next day, Yannick approaches Teddy and says, "I've seen all your matches. I'm a huge fan." But Teddy doesn't react much. Later, Teddy is sent to a German officer's house for some work. There, he spots a basket of fruit and steals a few apples. Back at the camp, he gives one to Yannick, who passes it to an old man. Teddy gives him another. But before they can eat, German officers catch them. They had seen Teddy steal the apples. They line up the 3 prisoners for punishment. An officer asks the old man to place the food on his head and shoots him dead the moment he does. Then he asks Teddy to do the same. But Teddy eats the food instead, showing he isn't afraid. The officer punishes Yannick by whipping him in front of Teddy. Teddy can do nothing but count the lashes. That night, many Jews were taken to the gas chamber. The next morning, prisoners are forced to work again. A guard throws a piece of bread between 2 prisoners, making them fight for it. He enjoys the show. Then he calls Teddy to fight the winner. Teddy, being a skilled boxer, easily defeats the other prisoner. The guard, impressed, gives Teddy food. Teddy shares it with Yannick and others. He learns Yannick has pneumonia and feels heartbroken. Teddy asks the guard for more food and medicine. The guard says, "It's not that easy. You'll have to earn it." He takes Teddy to the officers, who are looking for entertainment. At first, they laugh at Teddy's skinny appearance, but then agree to the fight. The next day, Teddy fights in a ring in front of an officer and his son. Despite his frail body, Teddy wins a reward. Teddy is given food, medicine, and allowed treatment at a military hospital. He's also assigned to work at the stables so he can continue boxing practice. There, he receives more medicine from a kind doctor. Back at the camp, Teddy gives the medicine to Yannick. Teddy now eats well, exercises, and gains strength. He even gets Yannick a better job at the hospital. Yannick meets a girl there his age. Meanwhile, other prisoners still suffer, forced into hard labor and given filthy water. Teddy fights regularly, wins, earns food and medicine, and shares it with others. But one day, the German officer who had a son started acting strangely. He says to Teddy, "Eat all you want, but the day I get sick of your face, it's over for you." The next day, a strong prisoner is brought to fight Teddy, but Teddy still wins. The officers now realize Teddy is no ordinary fighter. That night, the officer whose son had died breaks down in grief. Possibly the first time he's shown any emotion after killing thousands. Meanwhile, Jewish prisoners are stripped and sent to the gas chambers under the pretense of taking showers. Among them is the girl Yannick likes. When a guard tries to force her, she grabs his gun and shoots him, but is immediately gunned down along with everyone else. Yannick watches it all from a distance, crying. He runs to Teddy and hugs him, sobbing uncontrollably. That the officer who lost his son is injured and gets treated at the hospital where Yannick is. He sees Yannick and decides to torture him. Teddy sees this and is furious. A guard informs him about the officer, and Teddy decides to fight back and protect Yannick. The officers plan to rig the next fight so Teddy will lose. On fight night, they give Teddy a liquid that makes him dizzy. He collapses during the match. The fight is stopped and the prisoners are taken away, but Teddy stands up and declares, "I will fight." Yannick is brought in, and Teddy is told to fight him. He refuses. The officers put a gun to Yannick's head, but Teddy still won't hurt him. So they shoot Yannick instead. Teddy breaks down, but before he can react, a guard hits him from behind and drags him away. But the next morning, Teddy is tied to a pole in the middle of the camp. A pot is placed on his head. A German officer arrives and takes Teddy to the place where the gas chamber victims were dumped. Teddy lies down among the corpses, shattered. Just then, he sees a wooden toy, a small Jesus figurine carved by Yannick. This gives Teddy the strength to rise again. He walks back into the ring, where German officers are executing weak prisoners. Without hesitation, Teddy jumps into the ring that, though wounded and bruised, he dodges the attacks smartly. His hands are badly injured, but he still lands a powerful punch. Everyone rallies behind Teddy. His eyes swell, blood pours from his mouth, but he keeps fighting. With a few strong punches, he knocks out the German officer and wins again. Finally, we see Teddy walking away from the camp, leaving that dark past behind it. And that's where this powerful story ends. Got a better theory? Drop it in the comments. The best take it to shout out in our next video. Thanks for watching.